So what we're going to be talking about this morning is brand you. And I don't know about you, but this whole business of reinventing and re-entering the marketplace can be a little unnerving. So I thought we're going to start the day with relating to each other and see if you have some of these questions going on in your mind. So if we can have our first question up. How can I show employers that I have the skills needed for a position even though I was at home raising kids? How many of you can relate to that one? Yeah, how about the next one? How can I compete with the new generation that has more flexibility and work for less? Is that a concern? Yeah. Keep going. How do I successfully market myself to potential employers? Will my non-work life experience be respected? And where or how do I begin? Period. And so when we talk about personal branding, what is a personal brand anyway? So let's see if we can answer some of these questions. And a personal brand articulates the specific qualities and skills that you possess that make you unique and help you market yourself in the marketplace. For anybody interested in a successful career, your personal brand is everything. It's your reputation. It is the skills and values that you provide to an employer or to your clients. And it's also the size and the strength of your network. So where do you start when you look at your personal branding? So one of the first things that I always advise, the most important thing for you to do is to invest in discovering who you really are. It's the discovery of what your skills are, what your values are, what is your personal mission, what are the special attributes that only you can bring to the table. Because when you spend time on this, you're going to give the right marketing message. If you are not clear what your personal brand is, you're going to give mixed messages, the wrong message, or a vague message, and you want to be really clear what you're about and what it is that you're looking for. Now, in my business, I've chosen to mostly work with women, and there's a reason for that. I think women need more support than men around self-confidence. Too often, women are challenged to really own what they bring to the table, and so they will diminish their qualities, they will diminish what they can do. And I think especially when you're working on personal branding, it's almost like you need to brag or boast, because when we think we're bragging or boasting, we're probably not even equal with men yet anyway. I think we need, to kind of strengthen our bragging muscles a little bit. So in order to really develop a strong personal brand, it's also important that you can fully embrace everything that you bring to the table. And that includes skills that you developed and skills that you deepened while you were off and you were a stay-at-home mom. It's really valuable. The marketplace has changed a lot. In the old business model, employers were looking for stability. They were looking for people who had been with businesses for a long time, and that's not so in the new business model. They're looking for people who have social, emotional skills. They have a lot of practice in a lot of different areas of life. And especially at stay-at-home moms, we have a lot of practice in a lot of different ways, through volunteering and working on, parent-teacher conferences. I mean, we bring a lot to the table. And so before we really dive deeply into what your own personal brand you is, I want to make some points that I think that are important to mention. So the first point is that I don't want you to underestimate the value of your core skills. Because your core skills, believe it or not, they're still there. And when you were still working, you were not just a book of business to your employer, or you were not just, a body of knowledge. Your core skills are there, and whether it's your ability to think strategically, whether you're good at sales, you might be good at leadership, it's all there. You just want to make sure that you remind yourself and that you put it in your resume. The second point is that don't be afraid to talk about prior relevant work experience. Even if it's really old, you want to mention it, because experience is experience, even if it's ancient. And so what you want to do, though, is brush up on what it was so that you can be really knowledgeable about it in the here and now, and you can talk about it that way. You want to list all the volunteer work that you've done. And that includes whether you volunteered on parent-teacher boards, whether you have done community service, because employers actually look at it almost similar as paid work. And so in order for you to really understand how to use it well, you want to look at the skills that you learned as you were doing it, and also if what you've achieved. Were there some major accomplishments that you had as a result? You want to make sure that you mention that as well. Now here's the most important point. If you don't remember anything else, I want you to remember this one. No matter how hard or daunting this process may be, you were smart and capable before you ever left your job, and guess what? You still are. Yay! So you're in good shape. So if you don't remember anything else, remember that one. So now what I want to do is I want to dive into brand you. Who in here is familiar with Johari's window? Who's never seen this before? Yeah, so this window is named after John and Harry, Johari's window. And it's a model to really understand the relationship you have to yourself and the relationship you have to other people. And we're going to do an exercise this morning using Johari's window. And we're going to be using the quadrants in this window called open and hidden. And so as you can see, there are 4 quadrants. The open window, those are aspects of ourselves that are known to us and that are known to others. The hidden aspects are the ones that are not known to any of you, but I know about it. And then there is the blind spot. These are things that other people see in us and they know about us, but we don't know that about ourselves. And then there's the unknown. Nobody has a clue. I don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. We don't know. So right now we're going to be working with the open and hidden parts, and we're going to do an exercise. Now our time here this morning is limited. I wish I had you all morning because I could talk all morning and I could give you lots of cool stuff. So what I've done is I've prepared homework for you. Yay, homework, exciting. But I can only give you so much, and I really want to make sure that this brand you is really well-rounded for you. So this exercise that we're doing this morning, if you can find a partner, everybody pick a partner real quick, and please raise your hand if you don't have somebody. We'll pair you up. If you're a threesome, it's a little bit complicated. Try to be a twosome, but if we need a threesome, we can do it.
Oh, okay.
Let me know if everybody has a partner. Anybody need a partner? Okay. So the way this is going to work, you're going to exchange your worksheets. Don't worry, you'll get them back, because I know you probably already have notes on there. So exchange your worksheets. And I'm going to give each of you 1 minute. You want to decide who goes first, who's number 1, and who's number 2. So number 1, I'm going to give you a minute, and right now you're going on top of, just the top of your head, you're going to list all the things that you're good at, professionally and unprofessionally. This is the time to brag and take bragging to another level. You don't want to hold back, and have fun with this. Okay, thank you. How was that? Was it hard? Easy? It was kind of hard? Okay, who thought it was kind of hard? Who thought it was kind of easy? Okay, so let's do a little quiz. Who was able to come up with 3 or more things that they're good at? Okay, excellent. Keep your hands up. 5 or more? 10 or more? 15 or more? Keep them up. 20 or more? Okay, what's the highest number? 18? Who can beat 18? 18, way to go. Everybody, round of applause. So this is just the beginning of brand you. You know, being able to claim the things that you're good at. So when you look at your homework real quick, I just wanted to go over it because in order to really round off the brand you, I want to make sure that we touch on everything. So next would be the things that you like to do. They can be professional tasks, they can be personal tasks. You know, you might love to organize things, bake sales, or you might like to do the baking. You might like to create structures of some sort. Then once you're done with that, you want to record your values. What truly matters to you? You want to know your values because they're part of your personal mission. And what are you really committed to? Next, you're going to make a list of all your accomplishments. What are some of the things you achieved? And they can go way back, they can be recent. And so here's one more important thing. Remember the blind spot that I talked about? A really important part of your homework is going to be working with the blind spot. And what I'd like you to do is interview 10 people on their perspective of your skills, your abilities, and what they see in you. And that needs to be included in your personal brand to really have an accurate picture of what your personal brand is. Does that make sense? Yes. Question?
How do you pick those 10 people?
Well, I would pick a variety of people. I would people who might have known you professionally, people that you served on a project with, people that are friends, family. They're all going to have a different view of you. It was interesting when I did it for the first time. I said, I'm going to be really blunt. I want real feedback, give it your best shot. And one person wrote on their feedback, scrappy. And I'm like, scrappy? What the heck does that mean? That doesn't sound very flattering. And so then he explained to me, he's like, you can make anything happen. Even with scraps, you're able to just make stuff happen. I'm like, all right, that sounds better. So don't be afraid, to ask for feedback and to take it a little bit deeper. So who's willing to take on the homework? Awesome. Yeah, and the buddy that you just worked with, you might want to stay in touch with that person and make that your accountability partner. Because it's really important that you get the right message about yourself out there. So, since you're working on your personal branding and you're looking at reinvention in the first place, now might probably be a good time to think about, do I want a new career path? Wharton School of Business did a study a few years ago, and they found out that only 39% of people that had stayed at home or left work actually went back to their old career. And now that you're in a different place and you've had different life experiences and you've discovered new things about yourself that you like and that you're good at, now might be a good time to consider, do I want to do something really different? It's actually a very exciting time. And so, do you want to work for a corporation? Do you want to work for a small company? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want a totally different field? I don't know. But it's a good time as you're looking at brand you to have that as part of the consideration. So what I've done, I've tried to squeeze as much information for you in here as I can. I've given you resources, I've given you things to think about since our time is so short. But I'd like to go over these a little bit. If you're thinking of reinvention, the first thing I recommend is visiting a career resource center. And the reason for that is they offer so many different workshops, anything on resume writing, on interviewing, what your skills and talents are. And if none of these classes are a good fit for you, they also have career counselors who are very willing to sit down with you and to figure out, what would be a good career move for you. And there's actually one really close by in Lake Forest. It's a really good one. I know a lot of people who've worked with them, and they really have appreciated it. The other thing is, if you're considering starting your own business, I highly recommend working with the Women's Business Development Center in Chicago. I just attended their national convention, and it was unbelievable. You had women from all over the country attending, and these two women started this organization 27 years ago because nothing like it existed anywhere. And they're all about helping women thrive if you want to start your own business. And the classes that they offer, if a business is just a glimmer in your eye and you're not sure it's a fit for you or not, they offer classes to explore that. If you've decided you want to start a business, they have all kinds of entrepreneurial classes to help you with that. They can help you get certified. So it's a wonderful resource. Highly recommend it. The next thing is take classes and courses. Education is so highly valued in this marketplace right now, and if you can show that you've kept up your adult continuing education, it's a big plus for any employer. And so you can take college courses, there's online courses, there are workshops, seminars, and what I've done for you, I've put together a list of classes from Berkeley and Harvard and MIT, and they're all free of charge, they're online. You can do these classes whenever it's convenient for you, so it's easy to fit them in. And since we're on the topic of education, reading trade journals and attending trade association is a really good way to brush up your skills and to get back and sort of catch up on some of the gaps that you might have. The other thing is returning professional internships. This is more and more in different companies. They are making this available. And it's a great way for companies to get some high-level quality professionals to work for them. And it's also really good for individuals to re-enter the the workforce and to have a work experience. And what I like about it is that there's so many different ways to go about it. You know, there's consulting projects, special projects, contract assignments, research fellowships, externships, temporary work, executive and residency programs, strategic volunteer projects, and field studies. So there's really a lot of different ways to get back in there. And often career resource centers know the companies in the area that offer these kind of programs. So back to the Career Resource Center. Now, apply for a returnship. Returnships were started in 2008 by Sarah Lee when they were still in business, and Goldman Sachs is the other one. And of course, it's a play on the term internship. And it's a really fabulous way to get paid as you're going back to work. And often these returnships, they result in employment. And there's a lot of other corporations who followed lead and offer returnships now. Become a strategic volunteer. And I don't know about you, but people come to me all the time and they say, we could really use you on this project. You would be fabulous and you're bringing all great energy. And I'm not that great at saying no. And so I've said yes too many times. But you're on a mission now. You're on a mission to really deciding what career path you want to take, how you're going to reinvent yourself. So you want to volunteer strategically. And you want to pick things that develop your skills deeper, that look good on your resume. And so you need to learn to say no sometimes and yes to the things that really stretch you and challenge you and are a much better fit. And then the last one is to network with enthusiasm. You want to let people know that you're chomping at the bits when you're ready to go back into work. Your network is your greatest asset. And this includes people in your family, people that you formerly worked with, people that are in your network now, because they are going to be able to provide introductions, they're going to be able to give you recommendations, and they're just a really great resource. And they might even be great cheerleaders and supporters. So network is everything. And so it's really important to make sure that you're not losing track of anybody and that you stay consistent and keeping up contact. Now, many of you don't know me, have never met me, and today's your first experience of me. But if you did know me, there's two things you would know about me. One of them is I have successfully reinvented myself several times over. Why? Because I could. I like a good challenge, I like to feel fully alive, and I like to be on the edge. And also, as I develop more as a woman, human being, person, I wanted to reflect who I am in my work environment. So that's one of the reasons I reinvented myself several times over. The other thing you would know about me, that everything that I do needs to correlate to higher quality of life for myself and for those around me. And so one thing that I just want to leave with you is that you have a choice of how you're going to be on the journey of brand new and the journey of reinvention. Now, you can either come from a place of scarcity and fear, which is normal. It's normal to be scared and nervous to go on a journey like this. Or you can be on this journey with a really rich vision of who you're becoming and what you're all about and brand new and the kind of impact you're going to be making. And so I encourage you to dream big, get a really kick-butt support team around you of experts and people who will cheerlead you on, and go for it. Dream big and go for it. And I'd like to finish with this really wise quote by Jackson Brown. Don't be afraid to go out on a limb, because that's where the fruit is. So thank you, everybody. Brand new goal.